Coach Guy here. Here's all that I've learned over the past 10 years on how to get faster. Speed is a mindset. You move as fast as you think. It's not about who's the strongest, it's who's the most efficient with the energy that they create. So we start with the light 3-minute jog, staying light on our toes like we're doing some jump rope. Then we go right into our warm-up. We have the traditional dynamic warm-up. If you played a field sport, you can imagine that your team coach has put you through this. So everyone has their own process. I like my list because it targets majority of the muscle groups in our legs and lower abs just to make sure that we are ready to run as fast as we can without pulling or harming anything. Then we have the dynamic warm-ups, making sure that we are moving at a faster pace now, starting to hop, get off the ground, putting our force into the ground to prepare ourselves to absorb shock and display that force into the ground. Sprint speed depends on activating fast twitch fibers, the body's turbocharger. These fibers fire explosively, but only under maximal effort. Without activation, we default to slow endurance fibers. So, load preparation drills, starting with the band-resistant neutral positioning to avoid valgus or vargus knee collapse. Correct loading starts at the feet. Using a band around the arches, we find a neutral alignment and hop in place, feeling balanced tension throughout the knees, hips, and shoulders. This reinforces the optimal kinetic chains before we sprint. To make sure we're feeling the tension balance, imagine that you're hitting the Tina pose, but just under tension. You feel your arms pressing into your knees, you're keeping your back straight with your shoulders tucked back while your weight's on your toes. Now that we have identified how to load the tension correctly throughout our body, now we need to activate the fast twitch muscles within the forefoot. So, while holding that stance, we're going to see how fast we can get our feet off the ground, hopping in place, trying to do that rapid fire, activating our fast twitch muscles. There's a few other drills you can find on my page. Next, we rehearsed fast, powerful ground contacts from standing tall on our toes. We drop down fast and explode upwards, training our muscles and tendons to coil energy and release it like a spring. When we're up on our toes, making sure that we're more on the outside of our foot, and we're gonna feel the roll going towards the inside of our foot to the big toe. So that's why I'm struggling to find that balance. Next, to build up our leg drive, we need some kind of pole or something to hold us so we can stay in our forward-leaning posture, feeling the kinetic chain of our whole body connected while we are driving up onto the foot. Again, we want to make sure that down foot that is in the ground, we're feeling the weight start on the outside of the foot, roll towards the toe of that foot while we drive that knee up. Making sure, right, we feel the alignment of our shoulder, hip, knee, and ankle all in a straight line while we drive up. Common mistakes here is that people do not keep their core engaged long enough while they drive up to the leg, so they start losing their balance. If you notice on that last step I had, you saw my body fall to one side just because I'm not keeping my core engaged, balanced on both sides, right? Just because I'm leaning onto one foot doesn't mean that that side or that hip needs to disengage just because. So this drill is a great indicator to really identify, okay, how do I brace evenly throughout my core while I drive up onto one leg? Now focusing on generating horizontal power, sprinting is about violently punching the ground backwards with the legs. Through this drill, we are training full extension at the ankle, knee, and hip at real-time speed, feeling the rhythm of our body on how does our body naturally move to pull ourselves forward, right? Digging our cleats into the ground. The first step defines your sprint. Quick starts teach us to push the ground aggressively under a forward-leaning posture. Early acceleration is more horizontal, driven by the quads and calves, pushing you forward like a rocket. The hardest part is making sure that our ankle is stiff enough to hold this forward-leaning posture so that we can really maintain the aiming of the coiled up spring that we worked on when loading our body up. And then you get out of there. Try not to have a false step. Next, rolling starts, working on transitioning from the acceleration posture to the upright posture. Your horizontal force blends into a vertical force as you hit 75% of your top speed. This is when elastic qualities dominate and the hamstring and hip flexor take over to maintain maximum velocity. Finally, speed is nothing without stamina. A 300-yard burst challenges your ability to maintain sprint mechanics under fatigue. Conditioning trains not just your muscles but your nervous system. This separates the goods from the greats. DM to ask any questions you have.